राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। So we'll start the third chapter, which is the Lord's pastime out of Vrindavan. The Vrindavan pastimes were mainly described in the second chapter. This is the remembrance of Lord Krishna by Uddhavji. So Uddhavji continues to speak to Mahatma Vidur. Uddhava uvacha tata sagatya puram swapitros चिकीर्षया साम बलदेव संयुता निपत्य तुंग रिपुयुथनाथम हतम व्यकर्षाद व्यसुम ओजस्रव्याम. Sri Uddhav said, thereafter Lord Krishna went to Mathura city with Sri Baldev. To please their parents, they dragged Kamsa, the leader of public enemies, down from his throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. Yes, Ravinder, हमने कर लिया क्या? ये स्टार्ट कर लिया था शायद.
ये प्रोजेक्ट 5 तो कर लिए थे.
5 तक कर लिया था. Okay, yes. So the Lord brought the Parijata tree. So various pastimes which happened in Mathura and Dwarka is being spoken. Sutamrde Khamvapusagra Grasanta Rishtva Sunobodha Mathitam Dharitraya Amantrita Shesham Datva Tad Antapuram Avisheshaha. Narkasur, the son of Dharitri, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His mother then prayed to the Lord. This led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narkasur, and thus the Lord entered the house of the demon. Very unusual pastime. Narkasur is the son of Dharitri, the earth, and he tried to grasp the whole sky. And for this he was killed by the Lord. And then her mother, Dharitri, prayed. And this led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narkasur. That means he was again given life because he was killed. It is said in the Purana that Narkasur was the son of Dharitri, the earth, by the Lord himself. But he became a demon due to bad association of Bana. Banasur is another demon. Another demon. Who is Banasur? We read of Banasur. Who is Banasur? Who is the demon Banasur? Remember, who is Banasur?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। वो डेमन जिसका कि 1000 हैंड्स ऐसा कुछ था।
1000?
हाथ हाथ 1000।
हाँ, दोबारा बोलो, इसके डिमन का क्या था?
1000 हाथ था प्रभु, हैंड्स।
1000 हाथ ना, 1000 हाथ तो नहीं था। Who is Banasur? बोलो ना, मैं who is Banasur?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, Banasur was the demon who had captivated 16,000 princes.
15,000 princes. Which is there in the Krishna book about Banasur. Actually, Banasur is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And he was a demon. And because of the boon of Lord Shiva, he was, torturing the demigods. And when Krishna attacked him, even Lord Shiva came to fight with him. But Krishna killed him. So here it is being said that this Narkasur, he became a demon due to bad association with Bana, another demon. And a thief is called a demon, and it is a fact that even a person born of good parents can turn into demon by bad association. Very strong principle. Birth is not always the criteria of goodness unless and until one is trained in the culture of good association. One cannot become good. तत्र अर्हता नरदेव कन्या पूजेन दृष्ट्वा हरिमर्थ बंधुम उत्थाय साध्यो जगरूह प्रहर्षा व्रीडानुरागा प्रहिता विलोकहे. There in the house of the demon, all the princesses kidnapped by Narkasur at once become alert upon seeing the Lord. Yes, he is the same person who imprisoned the princess, the friend of the distressed. They looked upon him with eagerness, joy, and shyness and offered to be his wives. Narkasur kidnapped many daughters of great kings and kept them imprisoned in his palace. But when he was killed by the Lord, and the Lord entered the house of the demon, all the princes were enlivened with joy and offered to become his wives, because the Lord is the only friend of the distressed. Unless the Lord accepted them, there would be no chance of their being married, because the demon kidnapped them from their father's custody, and therefore no one would agree to marry them. According to Vedic society, girls are transferred from the custody of the father to the custody of the husband. Since this princess had already been taken away from the custody of their father, it would have been difficult for them to have any husband other than the Lord himself. आसां मूर्ता एकस्मिन् नानागरेषु योषिता साविदं जागरे पानिम् अनुरूपा स्वमायया. All these princes were lodged in different apartments, and the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions, exactly matching each and every princess. He accepted their hands in perfect rituals by his internal potency. In the Brahma Samhita, the Lord is described as follows in regard. So we all know the story that Krishna married 16,000 of these princes. The number is mentioned here. So it is actually 16,000 and 16,100 actually. 16,100 and 8 the queens, the major 8 queens of Dwarka, Krishna selected himself. Rukmani, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Kalindi, Nagnajiti, 8 of them are there. And 16,100 he married those who were in the prison of Narkasur. And what he did, he made 16,108 palaces for every queen in Dwarka. And the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions, exactly matching each and every princess. He accepted their hand in perfect ritual by his internal potency. What was the verse that we read in the second chapter that talks about this Leela? Krishna's Dwarka Leela of expanding his form in 16,108. What was that verse? We all memorized that verse. बोलिए माननीय माता जी, कौन सा श्लोक था?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम। नहीं पता प्रभु,
हाँ,
नहीं पता प्रभु जी।
नहीं पता? क्यों नहीं पता भाई? जब हमने अभी कुछ दिन, 1 हफ्ते पहले ही पढ़ा है वो श्लोक। दो ही तो श्लोक याद करने के लिए थे दूसरे चैप्टर में, वो दोनों नहीं याद किए क्या आपने?
क्या था प्रभु जी, भूल जाती हूँ प्रभु जी।
फिर क्या याद किया जब भूल गए थे? तुम बोलो भाग्यश्री, तुम तो मुझे बोल रही थी, मैंने याद कर लिया। ये कौन सा वर्ष है
हरे
और कौन सा, उसमें क्या स्पेशलिटी है इसकी?
यन्मर्त्य लीला उपकिया सुनोः माया
उपक्रिया नहीं है,
वरम
उपाय
दर्शय
काम है, उपाय काम, लीला अनुपाय काम। क्या ये वर्ड कौन सा है? ये जो 16,108 फॉर्म ये भगवान कर रहे हैं, ये क्या, विच इज दैट वर्ड इस पूरे श्लोक में? Riyanshi will tell. Which word is that, Riyanshi? No, not Saubhagyaridhi. You have missed it by a whisker. Vishmapanam. Vishmapanam. It is amazement. 16,108 form as it is, expand karna. And it is even bewildering to whom? To the Lord of Vaikuntha. Even Lord Vishnu is amazed to see this Leela. That is Janmattu Leela Upayakam. Swayog Maya Balam Darshata Grihitam Vishwapanam Swasya Sobhagarit. Sobhagarit is manifestation, but Vishwapanam is amazement. Wonderful. Struck with uh, amusement. So in the Brahm Samhita, the Lord is described as follows in regard to his innumerable plenary expansions. Advaitam Achuttam Anadim Ananta Rupa Adyam Puran Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The Lord Govinda, whom I worship, is the original personality of Godhead. He is not different from his innumerable plenary expansions, who are all infallible, original, and unlimited, and who have eternal form. Although he is primeval, the oldest personality, he is always fresh and young. By his internal potency, the Lord can expand himself into various personalities of Swayam Prakash, and again into Prabhava and Vaibhav forms. This is a little technical. It is explained in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is what is Swayam Prakash and what is Prabhav and Vaibhav. These are also they are also Prakash. Prakash means expansions. And all of them are not different from one another. The forms into which the Lord expanded to marry the princess in different apartments were all slightly different due to just to match each and every one of them. They are called Vaibhav Vilas forms of the Lord and are affected by his internal potency, Yoga Maya. So all these principal pastimes of the Lord, which happened outside Rajbhumi, Uddhavji is reciting. Tasau apatyani ajanayat atmatulyani sarvatha eka ekashayam dashadash prakriti vibhushaya. Just to expand himself according to the transcendental features, the Lord begat in each and every one of them 10 offsprings with exactly his own qualities. He has 16,108 queens, and each queen gave birth to 10 boys and one girl. तो चलो कितना छोटा फैमिली है 16,108 into 11 कितना हो गया ऑलमोस्ट 1,75,000 हो गया कितने बच्चे एक आर्मी कलामगदा साल्वादिन अनिकाय रुंदता पुरा अजीगरा स्वयं दिव्या स्वापंसाम तेज अधिसता Kalevan, the king of Magad and Salva, attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city were encircled by the soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. After the death of Kamsa, when the Mathura was encircled by the soldiers of Kali Yavan, Jarasan and Salva, तो तीनों ने मिलकर अटैक किया. Previously, who was attacking? It was Jarasan. And then these two demons also combined, Kali Yavan and Salva. The Lord seemingly fled from the city, and thus he is known as Rancho, or one who fled from fighting. Actually, आप लोग नहीं गए हो ना उधर? रणछोड़ नहीं गए हो? रणछोड़ राय? Anyone? नहीं. મંદિરમાં કેમ છે? રણછોડ રાય છે. रविंद्र गए?
Yes, प्रभु गुजरात.
हाँ. प्लेस का नाम क्या है? ठाकुर. ठाकुर. जब हम वहां पे गए थे द्वारका, द्वारका इन गुजरात, so we had gone there also. Okay, that area we have not covered. Gujarat and Dwarka we have not covered so far. Anyway. Ranchor or Manu fled from fighting. Actually, the fact was that the Lord wanted to kill them through the agency of his men, devotees like Muchkunda and Bhima. Kalevan and the king of Magad were killed by Muchkunda and Bhima respectively, who acted as the agents of the Lord. By such acts, the Lord wanted to exhibit the prowess of his devotees, as if he were personally unable to fight, but his devotees would kill them. The relationship of the Lord with his devotee is a very happy one. Actually, the Lord descended on the request of Brahma in order to kill all the undesirables of the world. But to divide the share of glory, he sometimes engaged his devotees to take the credit. Wow. The battle of Kurukshetra was designed by the Lord himself, but just to give credit to his devotee Arjun, Nimit Matra Bhava Sarve Sachin. He played the part of the charioteer, while Arjuna was given a chance to play the fighter, and thus become the hero of the battle of Kurukshetra. What he wants to do himself by his transcendental plans, he executes through his confidential devotees. This is the way of the Lord's mercy towards his pure, unalloyed devotees. So this is what the Lord says. That the Lord is always pleased to glorify his devotee, and he makes all provision for his devotees to get credit. So here it is being said that Kalyavan and Salva were killed by Mushkunda and Bhima. Sambaram Dvividam Banam Muram Balbalam Evacha Anyamsha Dantavakradin Avadhit Kamsha Ghadayata. Of kings like Sambara, Dvivida, Bana, Mura, Balvala, and many other demons such as Dantavakra. Some he killed himself, and some he caused to be killed by others. Shri Baldev. अथातरे भ्रात्रापुत्राणाम पक्षयो पतितं नृपान् चंचलाभो कुरुक्षेत्रम येषामपततां बालः. Then, O Vidura, the Lord caused all the kings, both the enemies and those who were on the side of your fighting nephews, to be killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. All those kings were so great and strong that the earth seemed to shake as they traversed the war field. So Krishna actually, this war of Kurukshetra was Krishna's plan, so that all the demoniac kings would assemble in one place, so that they can all be killed together. This is what Krishna achieved also by the Kurukshetra war. That all those kings who were great and strong, that the earth seemed to shake as they traversed the world. to be killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Sakarna dushashana sabalanam kumantra pakena hata shriyadusham suyodhanam sanucharam shayana bhaganorum uruvyam nananda pashyan. Duryodhan. The word for Duryodhan is Suyodhana. This is with respect. Shukdev Goswami is not calling him Duryodhan. There was one personality who never called Duryodhan Duryodhan, but he always called Duryodhan as Suyodhan. कौन है वो पुरुषोत्तम? आवाज आ रही है ना आपके पास मेरी? You tell me, Pradeep.
Bhishma, bro. Bhishma.
Sorry?
Bhishma.
Bhishma. Bhishma considered Duryodhan as Suyodhan. माने नहीं माता जी?
नहीं पता प्रभु।
हाँ, नहीं पता? मनोराम?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Vidurji, he used to think as this.
सारे के सारे गलत आंसर। कोई पढ़ता नहीं है तुम में से। जब तक पढ़ोगे नहीं तब तक आएगा नहीं। और श्रुतिधर हो नहीं कि एक बार सुन ले तो याद रह जाएगा। Priyanshi? So many names have already been eliminated, so now it is very easy for you.
मुझे नहीं पता।
हाँ,
नहीं पता।
नहीं पता, रम्या को पता है, बोलो।
युधिष्ठिर महाराज।
Yes, Yudhishthir Maharaj. Only Yudhishthir Maharaj. He never called Duryodhan as Duryodhan. He always called Duryodhan as Suyodhan. So see in this verse, the name which is mentioned is Suyodhanam, Sanucharam, Shayanam. But translation Prabhupada is saying Duryodhan. Duryodhan was bereft of his fortune and duration of life because of the intricacy of ill advice given by Karna, Dusashana, and Saubala. When he lay on the ground with his followers, his thighs broken. Although he was powerful, the Lord was not happy to see this scene. You know this saying, huh? When Bhima had hit him and broken his thighs, and he was lying on the floor, he could not move. The fall of Duryodhan, the leading son of Dhritarashtra, was not pleasing to the Lord, although he was on the side of Arjuna. And it was he who had advised Bhima to break the thighs of Duryodhana while the fight was going on. The Lord is constrained to award punishment upon the wrongdoers, but he is not happy to award such punishments, because the living entities are originally his parts and parcels. He is harder than the thunderbolt for the wrongdoers and softer for the rose for the faithful. Anyone knows this verse? He is harder than the thunderbolt for the wrongdoers and softer than the rose for the faithful. बोलो क्या वर्ष है ये? नहीं सुना? कुसुम अपि कोमलम and कठोर अपि व्रजरम. For the devotee, Krishna is as soft as the flower. Kusum. Kusumapi komalam. And vrajamapi kathoram. And for the demons, the same personality is as strong as a thunderbolt. Prabhupada is saying the same thing here. He is harder than the thunderbolt for the wrongdoers and softer than the rose for the faithful. The wrongdoer is misled by bad association and by ill advice, which is against the established principles of the Lord's order. And thus he becomes subject to punishment. The surest path to happiness is to live by the principle laid down by the Lord and not disobey his established laws, which are enunciated in the Vedas and the Puranas for the forgetful living entities. Hare Krishna. I will stop here. If you have any question or query, so please ask. I don't see any question coming, so we will close for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.